Hi Dad. I've decided I need to take a break from you. The stress that I've been under because of you has made me really sick and I need to do this to get better. I will decide when I want to contact you. This is an excerpt from the final email I sent to my dad the day I reclaimed my life. My name is Ziggy. I'm a leader here at St Ignatius College. I'm the youngest member on the committee at my local cricket club, and I run my own business specialising in cricket bat repairs. But 5 years ago, none of this seemed possible. 5 years ago, I was falling behind in my schoolwork. 5 years ago, I had no friends, and 5 years ago, I can honestly say that no one liked or respected me, and I deserved it. 5 years ago, I was that kid who couldn't understand what friends were for. I was angry, failing at school, and I didn't see the point in connecting with others. Today, I'm standing here giving a TEDx talk, something I never imagined would have been possible back then. Even after all of that, through my journey, I've learnt that no matter who you are or how old you are, you have a say in your journey, and you do have free will. I now know my surroundings at home affected my behaviour at school. When I was 8, I got suspended for pushing a kid over after they said something I didn't like. I was doing these things because of what I'd seen my dad do at home. What was so wrong with that, the 8-year-old me would think? Just before COVID lockdown hit, I was going into year 5. Mum and I decided to move from our house in Richmond to our holiday house on the Bellarine Peninsula. Dad stayed in Richmond. It was at this time that Mum realised that I was falling behind, and during lockdown she didn't teach me the subjects, she taught me how to learn. She taught me that I wasn't dumb, I just needed a different way of looking at things. By the time I'd gone back to school, I'd not only caught up to my year level, I actually discovered I loved learning. Having space from my dad allowed me to learn. It wasn't just learning I had trouble with though. Before COVID, I never had a real friend. I didn't understand what friends were for, and I didn't want any. I remember saying to my mum that I'd never wanted to go back to school because I didn't see the importance in having friends. Today, my friends are one of the most important parts of my life. One of the hardest battles I fought wasn't physical. It was for something more fundamental, my right to have a voice. I remember standing in a car park when I was 13, shaking and crying, while my dad paced around his car telling me I had no free will. That I was just a kid who had to do what I was told. I was scared, I lost my possessions, but I gained my dignity. And through that, I told myself, I stood up and I said, I do have free will. That was the day I learned that being brave doesn't always mean winning. It means refusing to let someone else define who you are. Even when you're scared, even when you're alone in a car park, even when everything seems stacked against you. Looking back now, I realise it was more than just about free will. It was about finding my voice and learning to use it, even when others tried to silence it. It was about understanding that being young doesn't mean you don't have the right to feel safe, to have boundaries, and to say no when something feels wrong. If anyone is in this situation, I want you to know this. No matter who you are and how old you are, you do have free will. You do have a say in your journey. If I can get through this, then you definitely can. 5 years ago, I never thought I'd be giving a TED talk or even be where I am in life today. But as I said to my dad in the email, in the final line, I may not be an adult, but I choose not to be abused. Thank you.